Hey, this is Steve Kraus, Chief of Insights for Similarweb, here with another edition of our weekly winners, a highly selective look at the brands and trends that won the internet last week. Unless otherwise noted, all data in this video are courtesy of Similarweb, the leader in market intelligence, and show the past 28 days of data in the United States. That's data up through Thursday, June 14th, 2018. Let's get it rolling. A winner, the E3 Expo, the gaming expo held this year in Los Angeles, June 12th to June 14th, once again showed its ability to generate headlines and traffic. If we start by taking a look at where traffic to the E3 keyword went, we see obviously a lot of it went to the Expo site itself, with other top receivers of traffic being game-oriented media sites. Let's take a deeper look. If we look at traffic to the Expo site itself, we see it was typically less than 100,000 visitors a day. Leading up to the event, it peaked the Sunday before the event at just a little over 325,000 visitors in a day. If we add in some of the media-oriented sites that focus on games, you see that they were much higher than the Expo itself in terms of general traffic, and they, again, also generally peaked on the Sunday before the event. Also seeing big peaks in traffic were the sites for the major game manufacturers. And here we're looking mostly at their corporate sites. Obviously, many of them have other specific sites devoted to the games themselves. They didn't show as much of a boost in traffic. Really, the issue this week were announcements around new products and new games. And we see that, for example, driving the big spike in traffic for Bethesda.net with big announcements about their Fallout franchise. Also doing well were game manufacturers such as Ubisoft, Nintendo peaking a day later than Ubisoft on Tuesday. You also see Xbox doing well, peaking on the Sunday, and PlayStation also peaking on a Tuesday, generally the category leader, and they maintained their leadership throughout the Expo. A winner, the World Cup. Every 4 years, the beautiful game takes center stage. You see, if we take a look at search traffic for the phrase World Cup, first of all, a big spike in traffic in May compared to the preceding months. We'll see even bigger spikes in June. You see the vast majority of the traffic coming in is organic, less than 0.5% being paid traffic. And where does most of it go? Well, the biggest recipient is FIFA.com, as you would expect. And if we take a look at FIFA.com, we see on Thursday, the 14th, peaking at over 14 million visitors in a day. It's very interesting if we look at the geography behind that traffic, with Russia being the number one recipient, as you'd expect, the site of the World Cup, but still 88% of that traffic came from outside of Russia. And if we take a look at the popular pages on FIFA.com, you see you're really going there to buy tickets. Of course, media sites with heavy coverage of the World Cup also did well, such as FoxSports.com, which has rights to the World Cup here in the United States. They went from about 400,000 visitors in a typical day up to about 5 times that, peaking on Thursday thus far with a little over 2.2 million visitors on that day. Of course, it's not just media sites that do well with the World Cup. There's also a lot of interest in betting on the World Cup. So if we look, for example, at the keyword phrase World Cup betting, we see a couple of things. First, now a lot more paid traffic. Remember, we only had 0.5% when we were looking at the phrase World Cup. We add in betting, we see there's 8 times more paid traffic in percentage terms coming in. Where does this traffic go? To various betting sites and odds checking sites. So you may go, for example, to oddschecker.com, look at the odds provided by different providers, and then you go make your bet at betfair.com, williamhill.com, skybet.com, or any number of other similar sites. And of course, just a reminder, when we're talking about the World Cup overall, we're looking at worldwide data. And finally, continuing with our sports theme, there's no denying it was a good week for the Golden State Warriors, who won their 3rd championship in 4 years on June 8th. And it's really interesting to see how the effects of that ripple through the clickstream. So, for example, if we look at traffic to the WarriorsTeamStore.com, that peaked the day after the Warriors won the championship. However, the Golden State Warriors community fan site peaked instead on June 13th, which was the day after the very well-received championship parade. If we look at the San Jose Mercury News, similar pattern, peaking the day after the Warriors championship parade. And finally, it's really interesting to take a look at the traffic to NBA.com. So not just Warriors fans, but NBA.com. A lot of people said that this year The Western Conference Finals was really the finals. And in fact, if we look at data to NBA.com, we see that its traffic peaked Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals between the Rockets and the Warriors, and traffic never got that high again throughout the finals. That's all for this week. I'm Steve Kraus, Chief of Insights for Similarweb. Until next time, may all your decisions be data-driven.